Alright, Vault Hunters, welcome back. Today we've got another build guide. This time we're looking at Amon again, but we've got something a little bit different. So it's not a melee build, it's not a action skill build. This time we've just got a build that focuses on pure elemental damage and specifically fire. So for this one, we're going to take a look at the mandatory gear, the skills, the firmware, and the specializations. And thanks a lot for the comments and stuff on the last build that I posted for Vex. There's a lot of input and stuff. Obviously with these builds, it's not a this is right and everything else is wrong kind of thing. There is going to be things that I've missed, things that I've maybe not thought of, because there's just so many combinations of gear and items and everything in this game that it's practically impossible to think of everything. But these are just things that I've picked up on, things that I've been theory crafting and experimenting with and found to be really good. So for this one, we'll take a look at all the stuff required. Any suggestions, of course, comment down below. If you've been enjoying the Borderlands stuff, I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like and hit subscribe. We're on the road to 500, we're really damn close, and if I could get there, that would be absolutely fantastic. But without further ado, we'll just jump straight into these skills first. So for the skills, pretty easy in that all of our points are basically going to be in the calamity tree, the red tree here. So right at the top, obviously we're taking the onslaughter action skill. So this one, we're not actually going to be using the action skill active, like the rocket punch. That's just, we're not using it because it's melee damage. We're more concerned with the effects that it's going to grant us. Obviously it's giving us shield regeneration and bonus incendiary damage, which is absolutely fantastic. So we're just going to be dealing a lot more fire damage while that's active. And a wee bit of movement speed as well for 18 seconds, so it's pretty damn good. For the first skill, we're taking what burns within, which is just a easy flat increase to incendiary damage, because that's what this build's all about. So it's 30% incendiary damage, and that affects everything that deals incendiary damage, so no brainer there. For the second skill, we've got Wield the Storm. So this is again just increasing our status effect damage, which is going to be fire. Obviously we will be inflicting other elements depending on the enemy, but it's mostly going to be fire. So 35% increase in duration. I'm not sure what the base duration is, but it's going to be 35% longer, and it's going to do 35% more damage as well, which is absolutely insane. Some of the dots that you pull off here is just pure crazy. For the next one, we're going for Bullet Storm. Whenever we apply a status effect, we're going to gain increased gun damage. So we're going to be applying up to 3 status effects, and it's 7.5 per stack, up to a maximum of 5. So that's a potential of, that'd be a maximum of 37.5% gun damage if we've applied 5 status effects. Realistically, we're only going to be applying 3 per target. So if you're hitting multiple targets, then we'd be reaching that 5 stacks. So to get the 5 stacks, we're going to have to obviously hit multiple targets, but that's going to be super easy with this build because it's got a heavy focus on splash damage. For the next skill, we're taking Metal Urge. So whenever we deal gun damage, we're going to gain increased action skill cooldown rate for a duration. So 2.5% per stack, up to 20 stacks, so that's 50%. So that's just going to basically give us our action skill back when we're dealing gun damage, which is basically all the time, so that's just really nice. For the main points, they're all going in this right hand tree, and then we'll touch on the other ones. So for this one, Catastrophe, whenever we apply shock, we're going to gain increased crit hit chance for a duration, and whenever we apply burning, we're going to gain increased crit hit damage for a duration, and they both stack separately. The chance is 5% per stack, the damage is 10% per stack, both up to a maximum of 3 stacks for 12 seconds. This is just going to pair really nicely with this skill down here, Electrical Fire. So when we burn an enemy, we're going to shock them as well, and when we shock an enemy, we're going to burn them as well, which also feeds nicely into the status effect. So basically if we inflict fire, we're inflicting electric as well, so we're getting 2 stacks of this automatically, and vice versa, electric will also burn, so 2 stacks there. And for the main kind of skill where a lot of our burst damage is going to come from is Dragon's Breath. We're getting 2 points of this for the class mod, which we'll touch on in a second. So whenever we activate our ordnance, the next gunshot is converted, so it doesn't have to be an incendiary weapon, it will convert it, but we're going to be using one anyway. I did try this with like the slugger and stuff, and it does work pretty well, but we're not going to be using that. It will stagger enemies and it will gain increased damage dealt. It says here bosses can't be staggered and badasses have a chance to resist, but the bonus damage increases 140%, which is absolutely insane. So basically we're going to be using an ordnance on a low cooldown and triggering this as much as we can. The next skill, Crackling Aegis. So Amon gains increased status effect damage and ordnance damage based on shields. The fuller our shield, the greater the effect. 24% for both when we're full shield, so if we're nice and healthy, we're just doing bonus damage with our status effects, our burn, our electricity, and our grenades as well, which is absolutely great. For our augment, we're taking Fulminating Fist, so we're not actually going to use the active of this either. You can, but I'd recommend just leaving it and just focusing on the gun damage. And what this is going to do is just give you a flat status effect chance increase, so 30%, which is absolutely huge. So if you've got a gun with a really high dot, which we will do for this build, it's going to basically increase it by 30% while that's active, and that's active for 18 seconds unless you extend the duration, which is pretty damn awesome. And for the capstone skill, we're taking Storm Cutter, but this isn't going to do shock damage, it's going to do fire damage from the class mod, and this just gives you your action skill back. So if you use this while your action skill's up, you'll restore it, or if it's down, you'll reduce the cooldown. And it will also bring back your ordnance as well, and it can hit multiple enemies, so it's pretty damn awesome. For the rest of the skills, we're putting them in the middle tree here, so we've got 2 points into the fray. That's just spare points that we had to put somewhere. We're not really going to get a huge benefit out of this because we're not really going to be up close, but there wasn't really, I mean, you can put them anywhere else realistically. I think I had to put them in this tree to get further down. So 2 points in there, 5 points into Burning Ramparts, so we're going to gain increased fire rate and status effect chance the more full our shields are, again, so that pairs nicely with this one. Crackling Aegis, so our full shields, we're going to be getting fire rate, we're going to be getting status effect chance, and we're going to be getting status effect damage and ordnance damage, so we really want our shields to be full. So for this one is 40%, so if you pair this one, full shield 40% plus your action skill 30%, that's 70% plus the base weapon affliction chance. Pretty much going to be close to full affliction chance based on the weapon, maybe not entirely full, but 70% just from those two skills alone is absolutely insane. And for this one, we've got Maim and Strike, so gun critical hits have a chance to apply weakness. Weakness is considered a status effect, and it basically just debuffs the enemy. So because it's considered a status effect, it will also trigger this one here, Bullet Storm. So we've got fire, we've got electric, and we've got weakness, which is unique to Amon, I think. I don't think any other Vault Hunter has it, correct me if I'm wrong. But that's going to be a 48% application chance because we're getting bonus points from our class mod. Enemies will do 40% less damage and they'll take 20% more, which is pretty key, and that's for 8 seconds. And we're only taking one in here, the Immortal Flare, because it's nice to have, but again it's doing melee damage and that's not really our focus. Whenever we kill a weakened enemy, they're going to explode, dealing incendiary melee damage. The incendiary part's nice, but the melee not so much. And for the last 4 points, we've got 4 into Bloodlust here. So whenever our shield breaks, we're going to gain Bloodlust, which is going to give us a wee bit of reload speed and some lifesteal. So this is just really a sustain skill, which is really nice. It says here it's also triggered on action skill activation, so as soon as we bring up Onslaughter, we're going to trigger this for some extra reload speed and lifesteal, which is pretty damn nice. And that's the skills, so pretty straightforward, all focusing on grenade damage, incendiary damage, status effect, and yeah, give this one a go. It's absolutely fantastic, huge amount of fun. And we'll just jump straight into the specializations. So for the specializations, realistically I would want 50 points. I know that's quite a lot, so really it's 40 that you need for the perks that make this really good. So you want 10 in Survivor, 10 in Brute. So the Survivor is max health and shield, which is just nice for sustain. For Brute, we've got 10 in here, which is just gun damage, obviously really good to have. That lets you unlock Gadgeteer, which we're putting 20 in, which is Ordnance cooldown rate, so that we can pick these 3 skills here. So we've got Reduce Ordnance cooldown rate whenever action skill is active, so it just gives us our grenades back more often. We've got Ordnance damage now benefits from increased gun damage, so whenever we're getting gun damage, our Ordnance is getting 50% of that. And we've got Ordnance gains a chance to critically hit, and it gains increased critical hit damage, so 5% and 50% critical hit damage. This one, when it triggers, is absolutely insane. It's really goddamn good. And for the last one, just because this build's quite dangerous and you might down yourself often, so this one's really nice to have to help yourself get back up. You just stay still and try blow people up with your main weapon, and that will really come in handy quite a lot actually. So if you could get the 50 points, I would probably take this one instead of the Fight for Your Life one, which is again another shield buff. So we had all of those effects from our shield, we would also have this one as well, but you need the 50 points for that one, so I'm not making that mandatory because it's quite hard to get the 50 points. And we'll just jump into the mandatory gear now. So for the mandatory gear, the main component here is going to be the kickballer, which you can see here, and it's absolutely glorious. So this gun is just so goddamn good, so much fun to use. It's a little bit unusual, you don't require precision or anything, so it's basically, it's almost like a rocket launcher in a sense. So for this one, we want this in fire. It can be quite hard to get, so we've got fire and corrosive here. We're also using a different version of it. We've got shock and cryo, so we'll be using the shock one as a secondary weapon, fire one as the primary weapon. And for this one, you can find this on Sludgemaw. So for Sludgemaw, you'll find him down in Idolator's Noose district of the Fade Fields. He's up here at this kind of waterworks area. You will have to complete a small quest chain, which is down here somewhere on the map, down at the hill near the faction town for the Outbounders. You'll need to complete a quest to rescue one of them, and part of that quest you'll unlock this area to farm Sludgemaw. And farming Sludgemaw is an absolute pain in the arse because he spends most of the time underground, which is just goddamn annoying. But basically you're going to want to keep farming him for these. You need the fire one. The shock one's optional. If you want to take a different shock weapon, that's totally fine, but it's just really nice to have both of these because the elemental damage is absolutely insane. Look at that one there. 11,649 with a 12% chance for the fire, and the shock one here is 17,741 with 14%, so you're basically just going to be doing so much elemental damage with these, and they're absolutely insane. For your substitute weapon, so we're going for the Bugbear here. So this is a Torg, and it looks absolutely incredible. Look at that bad boy. Oh yeah. Look at that. This one's really good in that it has a increased damage as you deplete the magazine, and it also does massive splash damage. We got the airstrike on this version as well, which I'm not a huge fan of. It doesn't have a huge burn damage, but it's just got really good flat damage. So for this one, it drops from the Bio Thresher Omega, which can be found in the Fades district of Dominion City. For that one, you'll need to complete a 2-part quest chain called One Slimy Issue and One Gassy Issue, which is around about here somewhere on the map, right beside the Sumpview Falls fast travel point. So you go here, you'll speak to a woman and complete that quest chain, and that'll allow you to unlock this boss to farm for the Bugbear. For the third gun, we're choosing the Katagawa's Revenge. This one, I believe, is pretty much perfect for this build because it only comes in fire and shock, and it's really good for elemental damage. It doesn't do a huge amount of base damage, but it spawns loads of particles with a high chance to inflict burn damage and shock damage, which with our skills is going to inflict both at the same time, which is absolutely fantastic. For this one, you're going to have to go to Tunage Peel of Carcadia Burn, and it's right in this big compound here, the driller hole there. So you'll need to work your way through the compound to get to this boss. I believe he's a story boss, so you just work your way through the compound and he drops the Katagawa's Revenge, or if you can get it from anywhere else, that's great as well. Optionally, if you don't want to use the Bugbear for whatever reason, you can also use the Phantom Flame here. So this one's really good. It's not great for elemental damage, but just flat fire damage. It's pretty damn awesome. And the special effect on that one is that it locks onto targets and shoots the entire magazine when you're locked on. This one's got the Hyperion amp damage on the shield, which is really nice. It's got a really slow reload though, and it's just a pretty unique weapon, pretty interesting. For that one, you'll find that on Pango and Bango, which you can find here on the map. I don't think that's quest related or anything, you just go up to this area, and that's right beside Makeshift Chalet and Lopside of Carcadia Burn. So for the mandatory gear, so the main component here is the Melting Furnace class mod. Again, with these legendary class mods, they don't have dedicated drops, so you just need to try your best to get what you can. The vault bosses are always a good bet. So what this is going to do is convert a lot of the skills that don't do fire damage into fire damage. So when we were looking at the skill tree, we've got Fulminating Fist, which is normally electric or lightning damage, and we've got Stormcutter, which is also lightning damage, but this class mod is going to convert them both into fire. On top of that, it's going to give us 45%. So on top of our other skill that was increasing incendiary damage, we're almost going to be dealing double incendiary damage. And it's also going to give us 35% splash damage, which comes in really damn handy with a kickballer. And we're getting a lot of bonus skills in the red tree, one in the green tree, which we're not too bothered about. I didn't even touch on that. So it's 1 point into action skill damage critically hitting. That's fine, we don't care. And for the shield, we've went with the extra medium. So for this one, it's fire. It does come in other elements. If you can get it in fire, that's absolutely perfect. Shock as an alternative, but we want one of those really. And what is special about this is it's got a massive Nova, so 14,872 damage on this one. It's got a pretty rapid recharge. The Nova triggers on fill and depletion, so it just basically means if we're getting blasted by enemies, we're just going to be exploding from massive fire damage. For this one, you're going to want to go to the Dissected Plateau in the Fade Fields and look for the Arch of the Inceptus Vault, so you'll need to farm the Vault boss in there, which obviously means finding the key fragments. So if you've not done that, you'll need to find the key fragments first and get into the boss there for the extra medium. I had a bit of a pain trying to get this one, but he will eventually drop it. You just keep killing him. For your ordnance, this one is just absolutely fantastic. It's called the Concussive Fire Pot, and it's absolutely brilliant because it just spawns sticky grenades over time. So you throw it and it launches loads of wee stickies that stick to enemies and then blow up for massive fire damage. So it's 2,000 and 15% chance, but that's per sticky, I believe. So there's quite a lot of stickies that come off of this, and it just does absolutely insane burn damage. And it's also got that crit chance from the specialization, so it's absolutely brutal when it really sticks to one enemy and detonates all at once. For this one, you'll find this on Leader Willem, and he's part of a quest chain for Enter the Electi, I believe, so that's quite a long one. I think it's got like 4 parts or something. I believe it starts in Carcadia, so you just go there and you start that quest chain if you've not done this already, and you can find them down here. And that's Grindstone of the Worthy in Carcadia Burn, and you just kill him and hopefully he drops the fire pot. And that's all the mandatory gear. So for your enhancement, you really just want something that complements it. We've got a Maliban with increased stats effect damage just to increase our burn. It's also got increased stats effect chance, which I never mentioned earlier. So we had what, 70% from our skills, so this would actually put it up to 100% pretty much once we've got those 2 bonus effects active. We've got gun reload speed, which is really nice, and gun equip speed, which is also really nice to swap between the fire and the shock elements. So whatever really picks your fancy here, just something that complements the build. For the rep kit, we've not got a legendary here, we've just got one that's got really nice effects. So on use, we're getting increased elemental damage dealt, so again, more burn damage. And we've also got the Enrage, which is just a flat 30% damage, and we're going to take a wee bit more damage for 8 seconds. So that's just going to be a pretty damn powerful steroid for us. And that's the build, so not too hard to get this gear. The kickballer's just a pain, but that's all the gear that we need, so you can easily farm this. Like I said, just go to the locations that I mentioned, and we'll just quickly take a look at the firmware, which is pretty straightforward. So because a lot of our damage is coming for ordnance, that's going to be our focus with the firmware. So we're going to prioritize get throwing, so ordnance damage increased by 10%, splash radius increased by 20%, which is going to feed into the kickballer and the bugbear. And for the last point, grenades and TDO thrown guns, which we don't have any of, have a 50% chance to spawn homing missiles, so we're going to be throwing our grenades quite a lot, so this is going to trigger quite often. And for the last 2 points, we've got Gadget Ahoy, so ordnance cooldown by 15%, so just more grenades, more damage, and ordnance damage increased by 20%. So we're getting 30% from the firmware alone, plus the specializations, which we're also buffing that. So it's all about that ordnance, baby. Well, that's the firmware. So that's the build, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. So we're just going to quickly show this off, what it looks like. One of the bosses that we want to farm, Pango Bango, is actually one of the big encore bosses, so we can test that out on him. Right, so this boss is the big encore boss, so much tougher, much stronger, and it's a pretty damn good showcase here. So obviously this build specialises against health, but there's a kickballer, like, it's terrible at range, like, see the curvature? But there's the shock damage just being inflicted at the same time. It's not a 1-to-1 ratio, that would be absolutely overpowered as hell if it was, because fire damage normally inflicts... No, it doesn't, its shock damage is normally a higher dot, right, but it lasts a shorter duration. But it's just nice to have both of those. We want to stay away because we'll easily kill ourselves. Like, they can come up to us and... Like, there we go. And just killed ourselves with a bloody kickballer. But you just sit still if you've got that perk, or if you've swapped it out, then you just need to be extra careful that you don't down yourself. So with the splash damage, chuck a grenade here, activate our action skill for the increased burn. This is so good, man. The splash damage is insane. Look at that! Woo! Burn, baby, burn! Burn, baby, burn! Look at that damage, man! He's just absolutely melting. Oh, you just don't need to worry about accuracy or anything because it's just it hits everybody. Like the kickballer is just brilliant, man. There's the big boys. All right, lads, how he's doing? Ah! Oh, we're taking damage. Taking damage. Ah! Now we just easily get up because we've got some insane splash. Kickballer's going to be your main bet. Like if we swap to the bugbear here, it's pretty good, but kickballer is really where it's at, to be honest. Oh my lord. Okay. You need to kind of aim downwards with this gun as well, because of the way the ball behaves. I guess, if you want to call it that. Shoots a ball, right? Big ball. Chuck some grenades here. You want to chill out, buddy? You want to chill out? Burn, bitch! Oh yeah. Ah, he just got melted. So he got a shield. He does. Oh, that's the wrong one. There's a shock here. Let's take his shield down. He's got fire resistance though, which is just kinda ridiculous actually. Grenade. Swap back to the fire. But the swap speed comes in handy. He's armoured, but we're not actually too bothered about that. This one does have cryo on it, alternatively, but... Ah, come on. Get out of here, mate. See, that's where the staying still comes in handy. Trigger all the dots here. Just every grenade throw we're getting that bonus damage. Like, look at that. Absolute meltage. Keep in mind these are the big encore bosses as well, so they got a lot more health than normal. And we're just hitting everybody at the same time with this. We got up there from the burn before we actually did anything. Let me swap to the shock one here because this guy's bloody blasting us. So to keep your distance. That's your no shot, man. Get away from me. Angle. Burn! There we go, there's one dead. So many ads in this boss fight, man, it's actually insane. You thin them down a bit. You want to try to hit as many people as you can with that. Where's Bango? Oh, he's up there. Bango, hello! So it's a shield is sometimes the issue, like maintaining that. Oh my god! Look at that. Ooh! What did that say, like 70k burn there or something? Absolutely nasty. Oh no. Oh. Oh my Jesus. Oh, okay. Bye! You better not drop my loot over there, buddy! What the hell? What the hell was that? Yeah, so that's a look at the build there. Absolutely fantastic, as you can see. Especially good against people without resistances that can struggle against order enemies like armor and shields, but obviously you've got the electric kickballer if you've got exactly what I recommended to deal with the enemies, but it's pretty damn awesome and super fun. You just don't need to worry about accuracy or anything, but that's been a little showcase there. Give this one a go if you want. And if you've enjoyed this build guide, or if you've got any suggestions, comment down below. But I'd really appreciate it if you drop a like and hit subscribe. But most importantly, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.